The last time we talked about the Steam Deck was about the launch coming up February 25th. That's only a couple days away. So, for a select few of you, I know I've seen a handful in my comments mention that they were going to be on this wave, the first wave coming up. 2 days away from the recording of this video, you're going to get invites sent out starting at 10 a.m. February 25th, Pacific Standard Time. So you're going to have 3 days, 72 hours from receipt of that email to complete your purchase to get one. So really keep tabs on that if you've been really looking forward to this thing. I anticipate there's going to be some people who are going to have to bow out of it for one reason or another. Maybe from everything they've seen, they've changed their mind, or maybe they just don't see the value money-wise. Maybe they don't have the money. Other things more important. You know, there's a million reasons, but keep an eye on this, man. Keep an eye. You can only order the Steam Deck that you initially put in your reservation for. Your little $5 deposit will go toward that. Now, that's coming up. There's some other interesting news that has been kind of piling up until today. Recently, they posted the Cad files, so you could you could 3D print a Steam Deck just to have one in your hands and see how it feels, I guess. I mean, that's cool, you know. I like how they're providing a lot of different things for people. And then also, iFixit, not too long ago, they posted a video of like their early little press unit that they got, doing like a more thorough teardown than what Valve did in their video, where Valve was like, hey, don't do this, but we're going to show you type of thing, which they didn't really go too crazy into it in that Valve video. Essentially, one of the biggest takeaways from it was like, hey, like, we don't think you should do this, but in case you need to, like, you know, these are the things you got to do, and realize like, hey, the structural, like, you know, how like secure it is with drops and whatnot will be compromised the first time you take it apart. But if you have to replace something, if there's a need, then, you know, maybe you don't really care about that. You're not nobody wants to drop this thing. You know, it's been, you know, put together to be able to withstand certain drops, maybe so many times, who the heck knows. But yeah, that's one of the biggest takeaways. And then with this iFixit video, this was just about a week ago. So 10 days and counting till launch day, which now it's just 2 days away. If you watch the Take a Look Inside Steam Deck video, please don't do this video. You may remember we said certain Steam Deck replacement parts would be available for purchase. That is pretty cool. So some of the biggest things that you're going to want to replace, not right away, but could come up as something you would want to replace if need be, would be like the analog sticks and the battery. And they're announcing in this little bit here that iFixit will be one of the authorized sellers of Steam Deck replacement parts, as well as replacement parts for the Valve Index VR products. So they're still hammering out details, and they'll share more, you know, later. But that's good news that there are going to be replacement parts out there through, you know, reputable sellers and whatnot. Now, is this the new one? Yeah, it is. This one was just posted today, and I thought this was pretty cool, and this is what I wanted to take a look at with you guys. So check your library for Steam Deck verified status. So if you have a Steam account and you've accumulated some games, you have multiple accounts, whatever the case may be, you can log into those accounts and see what has been tested and what is working. What, you know, there's different categories, like the Steam Deck verified program. Let's take a quick look at that again, just to get, you know, refreshed. So there's these different compatibility categories: verified, playable, unsupported, and unknown. So verified means like they've played it, they've tested it, and it works great right out the box on the Steam Deck. Playable, the little yellow exclamation point thing, you know, playable, but may require some manual tweaking, maybe controller configs, that kind of thing. And then unsupported, the game is just not functional on the Steam Deck. And then unknown, they just haven't gotten to it yet to verify it. So those are the categories. The green check mark means it's great, ready to roll. And we can see that now with what they've done. Not everything on our Steam library, but let's go ahead and take a look at mine anyway. So here we go, back on this page. They do have a link that will take you directly to the page that shows you the verification status of the games in your library and what kind of experience you can expect. I will put a link in the description directly to that page if you want to take a look. It can be accessed through a web browser or through the Steam application, right? So you can see the new page here. Go ahead, click it. All you got to do is be logged in. If you're not logged in, it won't show anything here at all, but it's going to pull from your library. So far, like it says down there, those are the deck verified games. So far, what has been tested. You come back to this, they will be updating it, throughout, maybe every day, every week. I'm not sure how often it will be updated, but they're supposed to be, working their way through the entire Steam library of games to make sure everything has some kind of status to it. Now, so far with my library, and I don't have the largest library in the world, nothing like that, but seeing what has been verified so far, I'm pretty happy. I do find some interesting stuff going on here, but okay, like Demon Slayer, you could click on, all these are verified. So that means like there's nothing to worry about, like no configurations or anything. But if you just hover your mouse over this and then you click the Steam compatibility, it'll tell you like, yeah, everything's verified, right? If you just click on this, it'll take you to the store page like we just accidentally did. And you could double check games and whatnot, that kind of thing. Like all these are the pixel remasters. So Final Fantasy 1, 4, and then 3 and 2 have been verified. And then 4, the 3D remake, is verified. Dead Cells, Rocket League, Demon Slayer, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, Death Stranding is verified, which we already knew that. But yeah, not a ton of games on my library have been verified so far, but I'm happy to see a few. But like, it's weird, like Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, and 4, but they haven't gotten to 5 yet, or maybe there's something wrong with 5. We'll see. I think it might be on the deck playable. Yeah, it's right there. Deck playable games so far. Valve's testing indicates these titles are functional, but might require extra effort. And that's like configurations or maybe keyboard overlays and whatnot. So like Don't Starve Together is playable, but requires something. So we can click that compatibility thing and see what is it, what is the problem with this game? Why is it not 100% verified? So it looks like all those green check marks are good other than the one. Entering some text requires manually invoking the on-screen keyboard. Not the hugest deal in the world, so that's teetering on like 99% compatible, right? Not a huge deal. Just invoke that keyboard when you're asked to input some text. So that game is playable. Then here it is. This is, that's Final Fantasy V, the Pixel remake. So if we click the compatibility, this one's got a couple that are not checkmarked that requires some tweaking, right? Text requires manually invoking the on-screen keyboard. And then some functionality is not accessible when using the default controller configuration, requiring use of the touchscreen or virtual keyboard or a community configuration. That's going to be another thing too. Community configurations may solve some issues that people have where it's just like, boom, there's a community config for this. So now it's essentially Steam verified, even though it's not, type of thing. It was the community resolved whatever the issue was. So that could be something to keep tabs on. But yeah, my library's not huge, but as you see, it didn't show a ton of games. I mean, they're working their way through like a ton of stuff on the library, and not everything. Psychonauts, Battlefront 2, Don't Starve, Amori. These games are playable, but requires some extra work. And then unsupported Rec Room and Phantasy Star Online 2 is not playable. Let's check the compatibility. This game is unsupported due to an unsupported anti-cheat. So that's another thing. Unsupported anti-cheat. Rec Room, which is a VR game, but you don't have to play it in VR. This game's anti-cheat is not configured to support Steam Deck. Those are things that developers could like fix over time. I would imagine even if like Phantasy Star Online 2 was playable, like I don't think it would be like 100% because I don't know, like the configurations for that. Maybe it could get to this section. Who knows? And then it's showing 71 games that haven't been tested in my library yet. They haven't gotten to the remaining games in your library, but we're testing new games every day. Come back often to see more of your library get verified. So that's cool that they put this together. If in anticipation of the Steam Deck coming out, you can come to this page, keep tabs on it. If like all of your library is like, it's like in this right here, unsupported, like you can't play them, none of them. Like, you know, I think this is going to be a good indication for people like, hey, you know what, this isn't going to work the way I hoped, or, oh, this is awesome. You know, whatever the case may be, at least this is a good tool to utilize to take a look and see what to expect with your current library of games and to see what the issues are, what's verified, what may be, you know, not a big deal, that kind of thing. But yeah, just wanted to share this with you guys. I'll put a link, like I said, directly to this page so you could check out your own library instead of staring at mine, right? But hey, I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. And with that said, we'll catch you on the next one. Let me know what you think down below. Bye.